There are different stages of corporate responsibility evolution. A study that I conducted last year at Cranfield University looked at the stages of evolution. Corporate responsibility does not evolve at a company level, but on a project basis. And as we move through the different stages, we can see that the reporting and transparency changes as you move through. There are common attributes at each stage, and we have suggested an animal characteristic to kind of represent the typical behaviours that you get at each stage. So the first stage, legal compliance, ostrich, head in the sand, this is where the company really does just the bare minimum to get by. And the reporting as well would be very minimal. Moving through to the second stage, companies start to recognise that reputation is important and they'll become involved in philanthropy for good PR. There will not be much data behind what they actually do. Stage 3, business optimisation, or Rhino, is all about building a strong business for the future. I think most of us will be able to recognise these activities in most companies today. It's really about streamlining the business and looking for efficiencies and cost savings, and these are used as a justification for addressing the people and planet issues. Really looking at your own processes first and looking at resource utilisation. At this stage, you will start to look at public reporting, and you may start to consider different standards for doing that. Moving through to stage 4, companies then start to look at partnerships to move beyond their own processes, looking throughout their supply chain and within their sector, and starting to really consider the triple bottom line, so these social, environmental and economic issues for their business, starting to turn these into opportunities for the business. Everything they do will be verified, and there'll be data behind what they report, and there'll be full assurance as well. And then even moving beyond this, at stage 5, companies move beyond their own sector and supply chain to collaborate with organisations such as NGOs or governments. And this is really about game changing to demonstrate the strength, as we've represented here with the Puma. Really looking at turning the triple bottom line into value for the business, creating competitive advantage, and that creating shared value that I mentioned earlier. There will be full disclosure at this stage, and it will be fully integrated across the business as well. Now, moving through these stages does not happen overnight. A company will typically operate across 2 to 3 of these stages. And as I mentioned before, it's projects that help move businesses through the stages. And it's these projects that drive the company forward in terms of the corporate responsibility evolution and can help transform the business. If you look at your biggest issues first, you can run successful projects around those, and as you have this success, you can then replicate that across the company. An example of a company that have done this is Nike. In the past, they had some bad press around sweatshops, but now they're really leading the industry and driving global standards across multiple stakeholders and really taking the lead. And if you look at them as a case study example, you can see them moving through each of these stages. A couple of other examples I will just go through as well now, just to kind of pull out some of the different characteristics at each stage. United Biscuits. They looked at stakeholder health and nutrition concerns. They've reformulated their biscuits, resulting in 40% reduction in palm oil use. I think we've heard about the palm oil plantations and the environmental damage this can have. So this has not only helped the environment, it's reduced their costs, made their biscuits healthier, and actually in the process their biscuit sales have gone up as well. MTN, Mobile Money, have created a new market by addressing social needs in Africa. They identified that many communities didn't have access to financial services. They're a telecoms company, and they created a mobile solution to address this. This has not only grown their own business, but it's actually developed the local economy as well. This is an example of the shared value that we spoke about. Then there are more obvious examples, such as the logistics industry and a company such as DHL, looking to reduce their carbon emissions. Fuel's their biggest impact, and if they can reduce the fuel use, it has a huge impact on the environment as well as their bottom line. But they're moving beyond this. They're looking to partner to create innovation within the industry, and things like the teardrop truck design can be seen now on our roads, and this is further reducing their fuel use. There are common success factors that can be pulled out across the different stages of evolution and the move towards sustainability. Leadership from the top is very important, and as I said, incorporating it into your company strategy. Partnerships and collaboration are key for moving beyond your own gate and really looking at solving the issues and looking at new ways of doing business. Stakeholder engagement is critical, as is transparency,